The first two jurors have been selected in the murder trial of Jason Van Dyke, the Chicago police officer who shot and killed Laquan McDonald back in 2014. Jury selection continues now as attorneys sift through hundreds of potential jurors with the goal of whittling down the jurors to a group of 12 jurors and 4 alternates. Van Dyke was charged with first-degree murder after he shot Laquan McDonald in the back 16 times. Van Dyke maintains that it was in self-defense. He says McDonald was swinging a knife in an aggressive manner. However, dashcam video contradicts that. It shows McDonald walking away from police. Meanwhile, the judge in the case has ordered Van Dyke to pay $200 for violating a gag order, which prohibited him about speaking about the case. Our correspondent Ryan Young joins us from outside that Chicago courthouse. So walk us through the process here. 200 potential jurors is a much larger pool to whittle down in a courthouse to get 12 people. Are they concerned they're going to be able to find jurors that haven't heard about the case?
Well, I mean, they're moving at a pretty good pace so far, Michaela. And look, let me tell you something. First of all, let me set the scene here, because in the next hour or so, we're expecting more protesters to show up. And while we were upstairs today, we could actually hear some of the protesters on a bullhorn screaming 16 shots in a cover-up. So that kind of sets the outside. And we also have pool reporters. So I'm not actually allowed inside the court proceedings. They have someone who comes out and they kind of talk to all of us about what's going on in the inside. And I can tell you the judge has been pretty firm this morning, kind of going back and forth with the defense on some of these stipulations that they want. First things first, they want no names given of any of these jurors, even for the record here. And in fact, what they've said is if you say a juror's name, it's a $200 fine. You do it a second time, it's $500. And if you do it a third time, something more serious could happen. So the judge is definitely laying out the groundwork. The 2 people who have been selected so far, one is a mother of 3, a Hispanic woman, and she has 3 young children. The defense was worried that she couldn't be sequestered because obviously she has 3 kids that she has to worry about child care, but the judge didn't feel like that would be an issue. The second person was a white woman, and we were told, and they're not even really giving professions, we were told she's a records keeper. And the defense also didn't want her at one point. They said that maybe she was too close to, actually her boyfriend works for DFACS, and so they were worried that she might be sympathetic, but the judge says he liked some of her answers in the questionnaire. In the questionnaire, she said she believes all people are innocent until proven guilty. So that was one of the things that stood out to the judge here. But this conversation happening right there in court, just the idea the judge has been pretty firm with the defense, basically telling them, hey, we're going to go through this one by one. The other thing that happened here is there's 3 people from the public that definitely get to sit in the back of the courtroom every single day. The prosecution, there was 2 people there who were pretty much on, let's say, Laquan McDonald's side. The defense asked to see if they could have one person who was on the defense side for Jason Van Dyke. So they allowed an off-duty officer to come in and sit in the back as well. So things have been moving pretty quickly, Michaela. This is different from last week. That questionnaire is really bulky, so the jurors are having to go through all this. Some of the people have stepped away for some reasons, because one guy even looked at Jason Van Dyke and says, no, I don't think I could give him a fair trial. I believe he's guilty. So, of course, that person was struck from it. So they're having these conversations out loud in that courtroom right now.
Yeah, an important part of the process. All right, Ryan, thanks for updating us out of Chicago.
Absolutely.